All right, so sticking in the NFL, we had a barn burner last night with the Kansas City Chiefs going to Los Angeles to play the Los Angeles Chargers. That game did go into overtime. The Chiefs won the game 34-28. Patrick Mahomes threw for over 400 yards with 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert threw for over he threw for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both defenses had key moments. I think both offenses had key moments. What did you take away from this riveting overtime win by the Chiefs last night, Jay?
This was a really good game. Back and forth, compelling, a lot of offense. The defense is making clutch stops. Inside the 10, inside the 5. A lot of things going on. Uh, I guess my bottom line point is, man, the Chargers. I feel like they let one get away, and it felt like they had it. Felt like they had it, man. And they let I get, and I'm not mad at Brandon Staley for how he coaches the team and how he is super Frank Wright, maybe more aggressive than Frank Wright in Indianapolis is on fourth down. Man, they left a lot of points out there. Particularly, and I'm the type of guy who, and I know you're playing the Chiefs, I get it. So you got to think like, man, field goals ain't gonna cut it. But I think you drive down, you get a big kickoff return, you got a chance to get up on the first drive of the game, and on fourth down, from what? Fourth down and goal from the 5, and you go for it. I'd kick it, man. I would have kicked that. And you got to think, the game ended in regulation ended in a tie game. You take out of all these fourth downs that they didn't get, and also that big fumble inside the 5, you kick one field goal, maybe you win the game. So I thought it would. I don't want to second guess too much, but there was, look, fourth and goal from the 5, man. I mean that's tough. And we saw the Chiefs. They weren't great last night on defense, but they did come up with key stops, and they've been playing tremendous football lately under Steve Spagnuolo. So that I didn't love how Brandon Staley coached them last night. I thought he was a little bit too aggressive on the fourth downs. Um, the other part for the Chargers that was a little bit distressing is, man, oh man, they look, the Chiefs have two guys you gotta look at and take really seriously on offense, and that's Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey. Uh, Patrick Mahomes completed 31 passes last night for 410 yards. 22 of those went to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey, and you've got, what do you got here? You've got about 327 yards to those two guys. So I don't know, Mr. Brandon Staley again. You're a defensive guy. You had the number one defense with the Los Angeles Rams last year. Could you stop? Could you prioritize stopping one of those guys at least? I get it. You're not going to be able to. You can't double team everybody, but you can't let both of those dudes do that to you. That's where I'm coming from. Like, you got Tyreek Hill doing whatever he wants to, and then all of a sudden in overtime, Travis Kelsey catch one at like the 30,
With
and the middle of the field, and he just like stops, runs this way, and then he's gone. And I was watching that replay of that, and I said, like, there was some low effort football going on. Like, number 43, I think your name's Michael Davis. I don't know what you were doing, man, but you were in the neighborhood and you could have done something. And you look like you pulling a Teddy Bridgewater out here from a couple weeks ago. That was horrible. And you get paid to play defense. So I think the Chargers, and look, the Chargers 8-5 in that wild card spot to start this game. And you know how competitive that wild card situation is, the AFC. So many teams at
right.
with 7 wins trying to find their way into one of those spots. This was one. This was one the Chargers had a real chance at. They ran the football really effectively, and
They really did.
they really did. I think that had a little bit to do with Chris Jones being out. But if you don't take advantage of your opportunities against Kansas City, they tend to make you pay. And what I thought, like, they left a little bit. They left way too much time on the clock when the Chargers scored their last touchdown. Mahomes comes down. He's able to tie it, and then overtime they get first possession and they make it happen. I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes, you can't give him so many opportunities. And last night, You're starting to see this Chiefs offense really kick it into high gear. They didn't run the ball at all last night, but again, Patrick Mahomes, one of the few quarterbacks. I don't care if he's got a running game or not. You're gonna have a hard time stopping him. And yeah, man, the Chiefs are red hot. It's the Chiefs and Patriots, the two hottest teams in football. Might be a collision course in the AFC title game. We don't know, but that's what it's looking like right now. And look, man, the Chargers are really a really talented team, but they are really, really flawed. And Brandon Staley got a lot to do. He got a lot of work to do to get this defense right. And it's no shame in getting chewed up by the Chiefs and just letting them, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're gonna hurt you. But I really thought they could have done something differently to not get just, beat into the ground by both of those guys. That was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I must say somebody cue the Undertaker from WWE theme music for the Kansas City Chiefs because they just raised up out of the grave and they made it. At 10-4, you say whatever you want about the way they started the season. They're legitimate contender in the AFC. So, like you said, I think it's a good chance it's between them and the Patriots when it's all said and done. But we'll see. But as far as last night game go, man, listen, I think we got the game that we wanted to see. It's very evident that Justin Herbert is going to be a quarterback of the future. We know what Patrick Mahomes is bringing already to the NFL in the present, less known the future. And listen, I seen some receivers out there last night. It's been a while since Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill had a killer game together. All right, like I mean, a game like that. That was almost a throwback, if I must say so myself, with both of them going off the way they did. And then on the Chargers, listen, Keenan Allen. I was like, oh, look at Keenan. I thought he was hurt in the one like rollover where he gets the ball down to like the 3, and then the guy rolls over his leg, and I was like, oh, there go Keenan Allen. There go the annual injury right there. Go on, get him out of here. He's probably done for the season, but he ended up coming back, But Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, got what I liked about that game last night. The guys, the stars, the guys that you really came to see, seemed to show up last night. I can't say that about every NFL game, especially every primetime game. You usually have one or two dudes not show up. I thought Mahomes showed up. I thought Herbert showed up. I thought Eckler and Justin Jackson. I'm just starting to realize exactly who he is and what he about. But I know who Austin Eckler was, and I thought he played a pretty decent game. Even Edwards-Helaire, with the 2-point conversion or whatnot. I just like that all the stars was participants in the game last night. Now, to your point about the defenses, listen, Chris Jones was sorely missed last night. Sorely missed. And the Chargers knew it. They knew what time it was. They said, oh, y'all don't got y'all all-pro here? Let's go ahead and run that thing up the middle then. And that's exactly what they did. No, I ain't mad at that. You seen the weakness. You smelt blood. You attacked. All right, cool. Ran that thing up the middle, did what they did. And for the Chiefs, listen, I think Mahomes said, listen, my guys got the advantage on the outside. And when they do try to double Tyreek, hey, you ready, Travis? Let's do it, baby. And for the first time in a long time, I think they was all on the same page. That's what we seen last night. We seen Travis on the same page with Tyreek. Even with Mecole Hardman and Robinson and them not even really participating in the game, even with those guys not doing what they doing, they still seem to have a good rhythm last night, And listen, say what you want about the Chiefs defense, they showed up in the red zone. That red zone defense, they showed up for the most part. I mean, how many fourth downs did the Chargers go for and got stuffed? I mean, it was the true definition of bend but not break, as they say. That's what the Chiefs did. Now, you see 28 points and you say, well, hell, man, they broke enough times. They scored 28 points and had to go into overtime. But this is a high-powered Chargers offense here. This ain't the Jets. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Jacksonville. No, shouts out to Urban Meyer in the last segment. But this is a capable AFC leading team. I mean, so this is a playoff team. Well, last night going into the game, they was a playoff team. I haven't looked at the rankings since then, but they're a playoff team. So listen, I think we have to give Kansas City some credit here. They was a team after like week 4, we was done with them. A lot of people was done with Kansas City. Oh, Patrick Mahomes overrated. Oh, they didn't figure Patrick Mahomes out. Oh, they didn't figure out Tyreek Hill. They didn't figure out Travis Kelce. These boys can't do anything, and they can't do anything else because we seen them struggle in the Super Bowl a couple of times. Now they didn't figure them out. And what did they do? Andy Reid said, let's go back to the drawing table and let's figure out why we're lacking punch. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jay, they told us that offensive line was retooled. That's what they told us. I ain't seen no retooled offensive line out there last night. Every time Patrick Mahomes hiked the ball, that pocket collapsed, and he had to get a move on. I don't know how good this offensive line was supposed to be, but it wasn't that at all. I wasn't particularly in light with that offensive line for Kansas City. Now, I liked the Chargers offensive line. They came to play. Even without Rashawn Slater, the guy that replaced him, he was just as good as advertised, folks. But you know how I feel about replacements. Give him a little tape. He might not be, you know how I feel about that. But with that said, he did come in. I thought he did a fantastic job replacing the young fella Rashawn Slater. But listen, with all this said, I think the Chiefs have shown we're back where that crown at. You know what time it is. We coming for the AFC Championship again. And the Chargers, listen, you got to do some fine tuning. You're getting there. Your team is getting there. But now you got to find a way to kind of tie everything in and actually get over the hump. This is a game you should have won last night. But when you're playing the champs, and that's what Kansas City is when it comes to the AFC, you have to beat the champs. You can't come around here, in your words, pussyfooting around. And you kind of did that towards the end. And this is what you got. Either way, riveting game last night. Love the action. And well-deserved win for Kansas. Chargers, they got to come back and do it again. But we'll see how the rest of the season play off as far as the AFC race goes.